I'm Betty. Welcome to my kitchen.
What we know as Irish soda bread would be unknown in Ireland, although possibly it has made the trip back across the Atlantic by now. Original Irish soda bread was in a very plain bread consisting basically of flour, baking soda, and a little butter. Today, of course, we've added raisins and caraway seeds and some sugar, and it does make a delectable bread. I hope you'll enjoy this recipe. The ingredients for this soda bread are 3 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of cold unsalted butter cut into smallish pieces, about 3/4 of a cup of raisins, a tablespoon of caraway seeds, and a 1.5 cups of buttermilk. I'm not using commercial buttermilk because I don't have any on hand. Instead, I'm using buttermilk powder, which is readily available in most grocery stores. And the measurements are 1 tablespoon of powder to each 1/4 cup of liquid. I've added all the dry ingredients, including the buttermilk powder, and now I'm just going to give this a whisk to blend everything. Next, I'm going to add my cold butter. And I'll use my pastry blender to cut it in. If you don't have a pastry blender, I'll show you how to do it the old-fashioned way, which is simply using your fingers and sort of squeezing the butter into flakes. This method I use for making pie crust also, or biscuits, or scones, or as the English say, scones. Just keep mixing. You fluff it up and get the bigger lumps of butter to the top. This tends to give you nice flakes too, instead of little lumps of butter. And flakiness produces layers, which make for a light baked product. The butter is all incorporated, and now I'm going to add the raisins and the caraway seeds. Just give that a stir to coat everything with a little bit of flour. I'm going to make a well in the center and start adding my milk. I'm going to pour in most of this, and we'll check the consistency, and if more liquid is needed, we'll add that at the end. Like it might be enough. I can see there's still some dry ingredients on the bottom, so I'll add just about another tablespoon or so of this liquid and get the last of these floury crumbs incorporated. You want a slightly moist dough. There, that looks good. All right. I'm going to add a little flour to my surface here. And I'm going to turn the dough out. All right, I've emptied the dough out of the bowl onto this floured surface, and I'm just going to knead it a little bit. Just give it a couple of turns. One of the nice things about this bread is that you don't need any equipment really at all to make it. You don't need a mixer or a processor or anything. And as you can see, it goes together very quickly. All right, that feels quite nice. So now I'm just going to take it and pat it out into a nice round, about 8 inches or so. And I've got a baking sheet already lined with parchment paper. And I'll use my bench scraper to loosen this and help me transfer it onto the sheet. Don't need that little extra piece. And now with a very sharp knife, I'm going to mark an X in it, about a 1/4 inch deep or so. And this will open up as it bakes. Let's make sure that's separated there. Okay, and now it's ready to go into my 375-degree oven for about 50 minutes until it's nicely browned. My soda bread has finished baking. It actually only took about 40 minutes. And there you can see it's a beautiful golden brown. I can hardly wait for it to cool off so I can slice it, spread it with some sweet butter, and enjoy it. I hope you'll try this recipe and check my website for a full St. Patrick's Day menu consisting of glazed corned beef, cold cannon cakes, and glazed carrots. Thanks.